Welcome back to another first impression, this time for the anime Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter. We have the synopsis from any list. After Alan failed the court sorcerer exam, he couldn't return home even if he wanted to. While searching for a job, an unexpected offer comes his way to be the private tutor of the Duke's daughter. Just as he lowers his guard, he faces a girl who can't use magic at all. But what is preventing her magic from working? Alan's unconventional lessons gently shine a light on the girl's future. Now, as the synopsis is saying, we have our main guy, which is Alan down here. And he is in this magic school. And for some reason, he failed his court sorcerer exam. We do not know why. However, we do know and find out as well that he is pretty good at magic. There's no reason really for him to fail the exam, but for some reason he did. Now, is there someone who wants him to fail, or is there someone who failed him to use him and then sent him as a, tutor to the Duke's daughter? We don't know. We may find out. I did watch the first 4 episodes, 4.5, but the half is more commentary. Nonetheless, he is going there. He's finding Tina, which is the main girl, is the blue-haired girl, and her best friend and mate Alan is the blonde girl, and he's supposed to teach both of them magic. Now, the blonde girl, she can use magic, but he's more or less training her. She has not a lot of confidence, and he's like, you are doing good, you can use like 2 magic at the same time or something along those lines. You are doing fine, I can train you, you are going to be good, you are going to be great at magic. Now, Tina has a lot of mana, but somehow she cannot use magic. Her formula is breaking for some reason, and this is more or less the first couple episodes is Alan trying to get Tina to use magic. And this is more or less how the story is presented at the beginning, that Alan goes there. He's teaching those 2 girls and trying to find a way to get Tina to use magic or to stop the formula from breaking that she's using. Now the Duke, so the father of Tina, he has a different plan. So he brought Alan in and he told him he wants him to convince Tina to not go to the Magic Academy. Tina's dream or goal is to use magic and then go to the Magic Academy. But the Duke does not want her to. We don't really know why, but he doesn't want her to. So he's like, hey, try to convince her to not go. Alan is a little bit opposed and is saying, okay, I'm going to try to get her to learn magic, to use magic, and if she then decides to go to the Magic Academy, you have to agree. If she does not succeed, then I'm going to try to convince her not to go. Along those lines. So, he's a little bit opposed to just try and get her to not do any magic. Now we have a little bit of a goal going. Overall, this is the setup for the first episodes I watched. And animation is fine. There are some areas where animation is pretty good and some where we naturally save a little bit. The story seems pretty good. The biggest problem for me always is the character. So Alan is just is a good-natured man. He doesn't really seem to have a bad bone in his body. He's just a good man. He's teaching them. He's being nice to them. Somehow both of these girls seem to like him a little too much, a little too quick for my taste. And overall, all the characters we got presented, apart from 2, are good. they don't have any real negative parts or opposing parts. We have two characters. We have Lydia, which is the red-haired girl. We don't really know what happened, but Alan was like the right-hand man of Lydia in some way. But he decided to do something else. She's naturally a little bit tsundere, seemingly. He's like, hey, you can only be at my side, kind of feeling. And the second person is a duke. He is against his daughter naturally going to the academy, and he seems to be a little bit opposed. Everyone else seems nice, seems happy, seems good, which is not what I like. I like a little bit of a conflict. Naturally, the girls, because they like him, they get jealous, and I don't count that. This is like, meh. So, the characters I feel like are somewhat weak, sadly. Because overall, there are some good parts. It does seem to follow a little bit the harem route. We do see a lot of girls in this picture, to be honest, which is not necessarily a good sign, especially how fast those two girls started to like him. And Alan naturally is the typical protagonist. He's not going to really be able to parse that they like him, and that whatever they, whenever they are jealous, he can't really understand why they are jealous and stuff. They are somewhat vocal. However, it is going to be played out like someone is going to say, oh, I like you, and then he's going to be like, oh, I didn't understand you. The typical romance where it's, oh yeah, people like each other, but we are not going to progress that because that would, stop the romance, I guess. I don't know why. You can do romance. Look at Dandadan, we have a romance going there. We have my dress-up doll, where we have a romance going. Look at stuff like Horemia or Dangers in My Heart. Romance works, even if the pair is going to get together. But I don't know. I just like this edging romance stuff. Now, overall, Annie Links gave it a 64%. My Anime List 6.68. I do want to say something after my rating, which I do feel like was pretty good. I give it at the moment, first 4 episodes, 7 out of 10. A pretty good 7 out of 10. I can't go over to the 8. Even though, to be honest, there's not that much wrong with the show. I just am not able to give it that 8 out of 10. There are a lot of good shows this season. It is hard to, get there. It could develop because we only have the first 4 episodes. There can still be a lot of stuff happening. Now, one of the parts I want to mention, this is going to be a bit spoilery because it is in episode 4. So you have been warned, spoiler. We do see a pretty neat fight. Now, this fight is a little bit hit or miss. There are some good animations. There are some, a little bit too, There's one of the animations, there's a big ice flower that then does something and it's like, hey, this looks cool, but why is it going from, oh, awesome to bloop? And then pew, and it's like, a little bit overthinking on the animation part, in my opinion there. But what I really liked, what really stuck out to me was one specific scene, which I did not do any picture or whatever, a little gif out of, sadly, was Ellen, which is the blonde-haired girl, fighting. She's in the air. She's trying to do some kind of wind magic. You see a green circle forming, and the enemy is trying to counter that, I believe, with ice magic or whatever. trying to counter it. And Ellen then switches her magic to a mixture of, I believe, fire and water or something along those lines, which is like forces the ground to be a little bit more liquid to trap the enemy. And I did like that part a lot. The whole fight in general was pretty good. There was a lot of stuff going on. Problem for me, the Duke. Why? Why? Just why? I mean, we do get to hear, oh, he doesn't want to lose her, so he doesn't want her to go to the Magic Academy. He was willing to let his other daughter go for, I don't know, reason. He didn't call her back either. But this one, Tina, he doesn't want to let go. So he's in like a match to more or less test these two, which is like, okay, understandable. You want to test them. You don't want to get someone else to come in and test. You want to be sure that they are ready. Understandable. Good idea. Why are you nearly trying to kill them? You are using your special ability, your biggest attacks. You are nearly endangering everyone around that is spectating. Why are you so against them? Which is a little bit weird, to be honest, because he just went too far overboard. And if they were not able to work together at least a little bit, they would have been doomed. And just because you are scared, it was a little bit too much. At the moment where he was casting his special Duke ability, which is like the Ice Tiger, it was like, are we really going so far? That is a little far, I would say. Now, another part which is like a little bit of a negative for me, we do go back to the academy, the two girls and our guy, which we do see a lot of girls in the show, meaning there's most likely a quote-unquote harem situation, which most likely is going to only end up with one girl winning, which is just not a good story for me. Because the chance that the girl that I'm going to like in the end is going to win is like 20% at best. I do not like these quote-unquote harem-like situations. But overall, it's a fine show. Could be getting a lot better. We probably are going to find out some kind of enemy in the academy, and we will see how the story progresses. Are we going to try and find out who the enemy is? Is the enemy just on the side and we are going to, you know, trip on them and it's like, oh, there's someone bad, we have to fight them now? Or are we going to be a happy-go-lucky Magic Academy? We will see.